Howard Storm, author of the book My Descent into Death, died in a Paris hospital June 1st, 1985. Had a near-death experience, was drug off to hell, mutilated, sexually assaulted, cussed out, but he called out to Jesus, and Jesus came and saved him. Gave the man a life review. Showed Howard Storm how he felt putridly to love his fellow man, but nevertheless conveyed an astonishing love to Howard Storm through it all. And then he gives Howard Storm the opportunity to ask Jesus anything his little mind and heart can think to answer. Listen.
Jesus said, "Do you have any questions?" And I said, "I got a million questions." He said, "What do you want to know?" So I asked him everything that I could think of to know. And if we went through that, it would take us several years. And he gave me a whole new understanding of everything. I said, "Great. Now that..."
Okay. He asked Jesus everything he could think to know. And time, it seemed to take years. Well, Howard Storm. For somebody that got the opportunity to ask Jesus every question he could think to ask, you sure don't know shit. You said it in a video recently. Someone asked you, "Oh, do our pets go to heaven?" And you know what your answer was? "I don't know." You mean you didn't bother to ask Jesus, "Do our pets still go to heaven?" I read your book. All you asked is about cheap pablum wino questions. Why is there war? Boo hoo hoo hoo. Why does God allow war? Boo hoo 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 hoo. Hey, shit happens in this world. This world is not a rose garden, it's a goddamn hospital. Why did it never occur to you to ask some questions that would have demonstrated that Jesus, the Jesus you were speaking to was not an extension of your own super subconscious mind, fabricating this whole goddamn near-death experience you were having? Why didn't you ask Jesus questions that if this Jesus could have answered and been demonstrated to be true? Questions. Why didn't you ask Jesus questions that would have demonstrated that the Jesus you spoke to was a consciousness outside of your mind and conscious personality? Why the hell didn't you ask Jesus, what happened to the lost colony? Where's the lost colony? Why in the hell didn't you ask Jesus, what causes spontaneous human combustion? Does it happen? Here's a real good question you should have asked him. What causes homosexuality? Yeah, that's a question. Another question. Will they be able to make hybrid human and animal in the future? No, you didn't ask. Perhaps your subconscious was fabricating the zeros and ones assembly language of your personality was fabricating this whole fucking experience to ease your mind and to think that when you died, it's not lights out, game over, the end. But your subconscious, your assembly language subconscious knew better than to ask any question that it could not find the answer itself. You know, Howard Storm, you were really finding the answers within yourself, not from some Jesus who was separate from your personality. And deep down, you knew this. And that is why you did not ask Quinn any question like, what happened to the lost colony? Because your subconscious would not let you think to ask such a question, because it knew it could not come up with an impressive answer, and if you knew all along you were not gonna die, you were gonna come back. It was gonna preserve your life, and it knew if you asked such a question and it gave you an answer, there was a possibility that someone could find out what really happened to the lost colony, and it would have contradicted what your Jesus told you in the end of the experiences, and you would have known that you didn't meet the real Jesus, because the real Jesus doesn't tell you lies. You didn't ask any question you asked only questions that your subconscious can come up with an answer to convince your entire being that it's true. You asked a question about atheism, and you were given the stereotypical thinking about an atheist. Atheists are just angry at God. They really know there's a God. Howard Storm, have you bothered to talk to the new atheists? Aaron Ra, Matt Dillahunty? They'll tell you right there, now, they do not have a God-shaped void. They'll tell you they don't want to sin. They want to be moral people. They can be good moral people. They want to love their fellow man. Maybe that's why you've never debated one of these atheists, because you know you wouldn't stand a snowball's chance in hell against one of these brilliant thinkers. Because you're just some backwards religious nutcase who didn't even meet Jesus. I know, to perhaps the most damning bit of information about your meeting with Jesus. You asked them, when will the world end? And Jesus, you know what he gave you? He said in about 200 years. Okay. Let's examine this answer. You remember when the apostles asked Jesus in the book of John, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel? What did Jesus say to them? That's none of your business. Well, he didn't say it in exactly those words, but he said, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father has put in his own power. In other words, he told them that's not for you to know. God knows that's all that matters. He did not tell the apostles, in about 2,200 years. And remember, one of your contemporaries, Dr. George G. Richard III, he also had a near-death experience, wrote the book, Order to Return, My Life After Dying. And he says in that book, if you want to get to know Jesus, and if you want to know if what you're being told is from Jesus or your own thinking, you got to read the Gospels enough to get to know him, so that when you get an answer, you will know. You can see whether it's consistent with what Jesus said in the Gospels or not. Well, Howard Storm, your answer you got from your Jesus was inconsistent with the book of Acts. When he asked, when will the end of the world come? If Jesus had been the real Jesus, he would have said that information is not been given to mankind to know. This is God's information alone. God will take care of the future. Just trust me. That's if you admit the real Jesus Christ. At best, your Jesus was a fabrication by the zeros and ones assembly language of your computer personality. At worst, it was a demonic impersonation, the counterfeit, the angel of light mentioned by Paul, the apostle. Because the very fact that you say, you imply, and you say in another that you said Jesus died for their alien beings' sins on their world. To me, it's utter and sheer blasphemy. It is blasphemy to suggest that Jesus has to keep going, being incarnated in every alien world and dying on their world to forgive their sins. What a shitty existence it must be to be the Son of God, knowing that you're going to have to forever and ever keep incarnating in the other alien races and being killed and sacrificed for their sins. That's a shit. It must be, if your story is true, it must be a shitty existence to be the Son of God. God the Father gets to sit comfortably on his throne while Jesus takes a shit kicking every time a new alien race is created. It's all a crock of shit. Near-death experiences are bullshit. And I'm asking Jesus, is there really life after death? Are you real, Lord Jesus Christ? Are you really real? Because from what I'm seeing today, today, Christianity sucks.